in a story that highlights the be careful what you wish for because you might just get it, or elections have consequences, that kind of thing. We have a story of defund the police activist goes viral after begging for help when everything she owned was stolen in San Francisco. The cops didn't do shit. Well, lady, it was a lady. What do you expect? What do you expect? You demoralize the police. You say that they're not allowed to do anything. A lot of the training that they received in police school, their police academies, all that, they're not allowed to do. Like, Chauvin followed his police training to the letter. Now he's in federal jail. Like, you demoralize them. They're not allowed to do anything. You handcuff the police so they can't handcuff the bad guys. You're constantly putting a revolving door on the courts so the bad guys do the crime, the raping, the thefts, the murders, the whatever. They revolve the door. The judge says, have a nice time on bail. I'll see you next time you do crime. Police are so demoralized. Then you take all their funding away. So there's less overtime, less officers, less training available. So you get worse officers, or officers become rusty in certain tactics. And then it all starts to go downhill from there. Yeah, the cops didn't do shit because what are they going to do? Anyways, this article here. When thieves made off with Darcie Bell's rented U-Haul truck, the San Francisco woman put out a call for help on X. If you see a 26-foot U-Haul truck with Arizona plates, whatever plate, I don't care to tell you. Would you let me know because it had everything I own in it? I'm actually astonished that she even had a U-Haul in San Francisco in the first place. Because for a long while, and it's like the only time in recorded history, there were no U-Hauls available in an entire state. Everyone rented them, moved out of the state, and obviously they didn't bring them back. That's one little thing that U-Haul allows you to do. You don't have to bring your shit back if you're traveling a far distance. You just leave it at that U-Haul place. They'll figure it out. I guess maybe they figured it out a little bit. The post went viral, but not for the reason she hoped for. Bell spent years posting left-wing defund the police views, and users across the site blasted and mocked the activist. And they should. And that's what we're doing now. Because if you're going to have no foresight, no ability to understand consequences and the future, and then those consequences happen to you in the future, then we're going to laugh at you. Sure, police can be bastards. I mean, I know. And sure, there's a few bad apples, but to not have them is significantly worse than having them. Anti-police activist begs the police for help. Jeer the X account. Bay State of Mind, which comments on San Fran Bay Area politics. Tom Wolf posted a screenshot of a previous post in which Bell blasts the San Francisco police alongside a screenshot of her recent plea. Shot, chaser. And of course, she has a mask on. I mean, of course she's that kind of woman to have big stupid glasses with a mask on her face because she's so terrified of the sniffles that happened 4 years ago. Bell, who goes by Jerk Cousteau, is that supposed to be like Jacques Cousteau, on X with a bio saying, will respond to all bad faith arguments with ad hominem attacks, returning fire. Mere hours after she filed the police report, she blasted the police for not immediately locating her stolen possessions. Now, if you don't know, San Francisco is a place where you need to leave your windows rolled down and your trunk already open. So the bad guys can rummage through all of your stuff, take what they want, and then leave. If they come up to a vehicle that has rolled up windows and a trunk closed, they'll pry it open, the trunk, smash out your windows. Even if they deem there's nothing in the vehicle, they'll smash out your windows for good measure. Bitch, you should have left them rolled down. Well, I mean, imagine if only there were police everywhere. Mere hours after she filed a police report, she blasted the police for not immediately locating her stolen possessions. I haven't found my shit. The cops didn't do shit. U-Haul made me file a fucking police report. She told the Post The cameras there's cameras all over the city. They haven't done shit. I just want my stuff back. Well, okay, sure. There's cameras all over the city, but you have to know there's police budget that goes into monitoring those cameras, okay? Upkeeping those cameras, and you need an officer to then not just monitor, but then to review the footage and retrieve the footage. So now once your footage is retrieved, well, we gotta go through it. We have to get the stills out of it. It has to be analyzed. I'm not talking like CSI analyzed, but they have to go through it, right? This costs money, part of the police budget. You know, that shit you wanted defunded. So here you can see one of her posts. Defunding the police is actually is good actually. We pay them a whole lot to do less. And her thing is SFPD clears only 8.1% of reported crimes while their budget has grown. Well, and then here's the thing. Reported crimes. That means every single call for service, right? Oh, somebody keyed my car to, oh, this person's been murdered and everything in between. A lot of that can't be solved. It just can't be. So, I mean, yeah, maybe 8.1% is low. You want that up, a few percentage points higher, but you're not going to get much more than that. In a high trust society, you'll get that a bunch of points up. But San Francisco is such a low trust society. No, I think you're probably about where you're going to be at 8%. To those accusing her of hypocrisy, that's what I'm doing right now. She insisted that she literally never called the cops and is reposting more calls to defund the police for good measure. U-Haul urged her to alert authorities to the theft of its truck. Please be sure to contact us back to provide the police report to the Equipment Recovery Department, the company's customer service support had urged. As for her critics, she sneered at them. Look at these good Christian victims advocates celebrating my kids losing their belongings at Christmas. She fired at the haters in general. See, here's the thing. The left does a thing and there's consequences, and then they want the right to say nothing or help. Always the right has to say nothing or help while they continue to do the bad things and make shit worse. And then the moment we say, hey, the thing that you did was dumb and it's caused you consequences and everyone else consequences, they go, oh, look at these good Christians. Can you believe it? Like, lady, you're advocating for this. Sure, you never called the cops, but why should somebody else have to go through this? Why should your kids have to go through this? Because you're a retard. Because you don't know what the hell you're doing. But also, since we're talking about retards, this story came up on X, to which I said, "Ha ha! Suck it, bitch! We told you not to defund the police, but instead you called us fascists." That's what happened. We said, no, defunding the police is a terrible idea. It really is. There's all kinds of primary, secondary, and even tertiary consequences that you can't see. But no, we are literally Hitler for some reason. To which I was called, and it's kind of true sometimes. This fella here, this bootsy cynic, that says to me, "You're a fucking moron." And yes, it's true sometimes, genuinely. And he has a San Francisco budget by year, showing the budget pretty much more or less goes up every single year. And as a city center grows, the community grows, more population, you need more officers. As the technology improves, as training advances, you need more. You always need more. Sometimes through various means, you can start to use less, right? uh, Various efficiencies, you can start to use less. So 2022, 2020, right here. This last, what are they saying that it was about 630 million dollars for the police budget. Well, I guess I'm defeated. This fella has called me a fucking moron and given me a budget by year. Well, it goes beyond that because while I may be a fucking moron, I say, and yet somehow less of a moron than you. The TLDR, the too long don't read, is your chart means nothing. In July 2020, Mayor Breed announced $120 million would be cut from the budgets of both the police and the sheriff's departments over the next 2 fiscal years to redirect funding towards addressing disparities in the Black community. This was part of broader calls to defund the police across various cities in the US. These funds were still labeled police funds, but were reallocated for housing, mental health programs, and other community services aimed at racial equity. That's a dirty word, equity. This initiative was one of the first significant moves in San Francisco towards defunding the police. Your chart means nothing. Nothing. Because just because you have a chart doesn't mean anything. Yeah, this blue line is correct. That was the budget. But now you take off 120 million of that and reallocate it, but still call it police. Your chart means nothing. These people are morons. And they deserve what they get. But the sad part is, while these people who asked to defund the police are getting what they deserved, tragically, the people who have called for more police are also getting the short end of the stick. That's going to wrap up this video. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on YouTube at Third Railify, on Rumble at Third Railify. That's where I do my live streaming as well as my standalone videos, and on Twitter, where I sometimes say wonderful, funny things. That's all for now. Take care. See you in the next video.